What's up? We're talking about some Rapids record setters. We're going to look at the playoff pack right below the Rapids, and we're going to talk about best things to do on your day off today on DNVR Rapids. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. We are live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, hanging out on just a beautiful Wednesday in the Mile High City, and I am joined by the fellas. It's Cowboy Super Yeah.
Are we going to keep being the fellas, or are we going to go with my guys?
I can do my guys.
I see a lot of people in the chat call us their guys.
My dudes.
It's getting to the point where like my wife is thinking I'm cheating with a bunch of people in the chat.
A lot of people.
Many people are saying this.
Well, this is the first one of the day. Just saying.
There are a lot of...
No, you're right.
There's multiple my guys in the last.
There's multiple S's.
It's my guys.
Also joining us, the man himself, downtown Duane Brown.
What's up, everybody? Who's ready for a week off from soccer?
Not me.
I know. We're finally back to MLS, and now everybody's getting a
They
break.
teased us.
What are we doing?
Duane needs a new nickname though. It should be like Duane Expression Brown.
Okay.
He's
It
very
doesn't really
expressive.
roll off the...
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. We got some workshop in time.
Duane faces Brown? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We got it's a very week off show this week, guys. The whole team is they have zero activities this week. They are completely off. So what are we going to do? We're going to look at some potential team record setting, maybe. And we're going to talk about Darren Yapi with a little recognition from the weekend. We're going to talk about the playoff pack. The teams there's 4 teams within 4 points of the Rapids below them. So we're going to kind of look at how do you want to match up with them in the playoffs, who you're scared of, who you're not, whatever. We're going to get into that. And then we're going to play a little game at the end and talk about what we like to do on our days off.
Yeah.
How's that sound, fellas?
This is a full Mitch show. He planned it completely. So me and Duane are going to be a little...
Look, it's a busy time right now for you guys.
It is very busy, but me and Duane are going to be... Me and Duane are not fully prepared for what entails this show, which should make it a better show.
I'm winging it. I'm winging it on
Telling you
this.
this right now.
I like to keep you guys on your toes, baby. It's going to be fun. Also, shout out super producer Alyssa on the ones and twos today. All right, let's get into it, guys. So we got that first graphic that Duane sent you. We did this 2 years ago.
Last year.
2 years ago.
2 years.
Was it? Wow, that's been 2 years.
Two seasons ago.
But we officially have the race to the record. Rafael Navarro, our guy and yours, our Brazilian king, is now just 4 goals away over the final 7 games from setting the club record.
I both appreciate and hate Duane for making a way better graphic than me 2 years ago. But it's both a love-hate kind of thing. But this graphic goes so hard. When I saw it, I'm like, this is a good graphic.
Look, he's 4 goals away. It is very exciting. Getting 2 in that first game was a big deal, right? Because 6 in 8 was a little intimidating. Doable, especially for a striker. Big games, you need your big guys to show up in big games. And there's a lot of those down the stretch, but 4 in 7? Sign me up. When you start thinking about historically, right, for this team, you haven't had a lot of goal scorers, right? The record is held currently by both Connor Casey and Diego Rubio. I would say we appreciate those guys a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Big supporters on this show.
Sure.
Rubio, he's a veteran of the chat on this show. He wasn't happy with us after that Seattle game. That's okay. We love you wherever you are. Well, I guess in Texas. We know where you are.
In Austin. He's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah. But when you see that this, Rafa had a rough start, just the 1 goal last year. Bad season. bad offense, bad team, all that, right? But now you can look at this down the stretch, and it's not just playoff positioning. There's other things that you can look out for. Best 11, goal scoring marks. How are you feeling about Hoffa and his chance to be the all-time goal scorer for the Rapids?
I think he has the best shot out of anybody to actually break the record. And it has nothing to do with him, but the talent around him, right? That year that Rubio matched the 16, it felt like he was doing everything. It felt like dude was willing the Rapids to not make the playoffs, but barely. It was the Rubio show. Now it feels like you have Djordje, you have Calvin, you have even Cabral, you have Cole, you have everybody's kind of clicking at the exact same time. So it makes it seem like it's so close because he did get 2 in one game. You've seen him have multiple games with multiple goals. So to me, it's almost a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Where I'm even looking at 20 an option in the next 7 games, like reaching that 20 mark.
Yeah, so that would be he's at 13. So you need 7 and 7. That would be a hell of a goal scoring streak.
And I really think he can. That's how talented I think he is. But not just him, the team around him, and the way that Artemis has him playing at all times.
Yeah, Duane, what do you think about that record?
It's got to be broken. There are teams. There are teams that break the Rapids record every year.
There are
currently players that have already broken the Rapids record. So, guys, we got to do this. Like, it's got to happen. We got to have 4 goals in the last 7 games from Rafa. Like, he's a DP striker. It's what we've been wanting. He's got a lot of talent around him that can get the ball to him. You know, once the contract was signed and kind of dipped down a little bit. But if he can get back to where he was in that kind of like second quarter of the season, I think he could do it easily. You know, it just depends on where the rest of the offense is because Rafa plays a lot of his game not as a striker. You know, he's playing other positions. He's frequently a guy who is getting the ball to someone else. So it's just a matter of whether or not the team can let him play in his position that he's supposed to be doing, which is putting the ball in the net. So 4 goals in 7 games in the past for Rapids, I would be like, there's no chance in hell that's happening, you know. But this is a team that's scoring goals consistently all season, so I think it's doable. I think it's got to happen. Like, 17 is not a lot of goals for the
fact
UDP striker.
That an original 6 team hasn't had a 20-goal scorer.
Yes.
In coming up on 30 seasons.
Wild.
Is hard to fathom.
Yes.
Really. Like you said, it's insane that right now there are multiple goal scorers that have tied or broken the record in the league with a third of the season left. Right? Or almost a third of the season left.
Man, it's wild.
So, you know, I agree. And what gives me hope, and like you said, it's not just the talent around him, but this game against Dallas where he just put himself into the mix, right? He got into it was dirty work. It was rebounding on the penalty and getting in position. It was getting right in front of that goal, rebounding, doing the dirty work. And that's what gives you hope for setting that record, is because it's not all going to be, 20-yard shots from outside the box with a curl that look nice. It's not all going to be, bicycle kicks and headers. It's going to be cleanups and getting in there. You think of that Giassi Zardes hat trick that he had against Minnesota, and it was literally just 2 balls poked basically from the keeper's hands, right? And it's like, that got him to that. I think he had 9 goals, right, on that season. And so, like, it's those little things that
for sure
help you get into that record book, right? And we've seen him work so hard. He's probably the hardest working striker in the league.
And I think it's also something that went over a little bit. Not maybe we didn't talk about in the post game, and I forgot to bring it up because I was doing some other stuff. But he wanted that penalty too from Djordje.
He did.
He went up to me like, "Let me take this, man. Like, I know I've been bad. They was gonna get me out of my rut. I can do this." That's the kind of confidence you need from your striker. That's the kind of confidence that you hope that a DP expresses, and that's why it gives me more confidence that he can come back, bounce, and just score 5 goals and even get the 18 to 20. I really think he's going to be closer to 20 than he is going to be the record itself.
I love that.
He scored 4 from the penalty spot, and I know everyone was so worried about he's just scoring penalties. He's not being a real goal scorer. Duane said this mostly.
Hey, man.
But when you look at Diego...
At the time, it was true.
That is true. Correct. But when you look at Diego Rubio's performance when he scored all those goals, he also converted 4 penalties that season. So he's on the same amount as Diego's 16-goal season.
And Diego got it on the last day, if we remember.
He tied it late.
Yeah.
It might have been stoppage time almost.
Yeah,
I'd have to look up the game.
No, it was stoppage time because it was the last play of the game, and that's how he got it. It was a header to tie the game against Austin, and they walked away with the point.
Wow, what a weird ending to a bad year.
Weird ending to a weird year.
So I think panel wise, we're all in agreement. This record should go down.
It has to.
If we're starting from right now, hey, score 4 more goals. We all think that's not just doable, but it's a should happen.
I think it's I hate to say it, but it has to be almost a guarantee.
Okay.
And I'll knock on wood, just
I love that about
out
you.
Of pure fear that I'm jinxing him.
Duane, what do you think?
It's a should happen.
I agree. Should happen. Jumping over to our guy, Djordje Mihailovic. He is having one hell of a season.
Wait, real quick. If Rafa breaks this record, have you guys seen the meme of the guy on the podium? He's in 3rd place and he's partying.
Yes.
That's literally Rafa breaking the record.
Right.
Everybody ahead of him, but he's celebrating the record.
Yeah. Whatever he finishes 6th
Which
or
is
7th.
fine. I think it's fine. Like,
It's more the Rapids than Rafa.
But either way, Rafa's going to celebrate breaking a club record.
For sure. And he should.
But it'll be funny. I just find that really funny. Nothing against Rafa. It's just funny.
So now we're looking at Djordje Mihailovic. He is having, it's a very good season right now. He is sitting at, this is according to FBref. I know the MLS is a little different with what they hand out. But right now he's at 17 goal contributions.
Okay.
In the MLS. That's 10 goals, 7 assists.
Okay.
The record was Diego Rubio in that same season. Mm-hmm. And Jason Maxwell, Rapids historian, stat guy extraordinaire, has Mihailovic on pace for 25.2 goals plus assists. Rubio set the record with 23.
Okay.
So if he is at 17, he needs to combine for 8 assists and goals down the stretch. Well, let's see what MLS has him at. But do you guys think that Djordje, one, I guess, do you think he can do it? Because he's about as dialed in as we've seen him. And 2, how important is it that the 2 club records back-to-back, the 2 club record signings back-to-back, are in this position already?
So MLS has him at 10 assists. So because they do the hockey assists,
right,
secondary. That means he's only 6 off from breaking the record for most assists, or tying the record for most assists in club history, I think, in a year. So having 2 guys that being so close to matching the best years that you've had on the team and playing together at the same time can only propel the Rapids to good things. Because I remember it's the first year of a rebuild, and that's the way I look at it. I don't expect the Rapids to dominate every single team they play, but I will expect it in a year or 2 if they keep this team together and they add pieces. Because right now they just build a very, very young and capable core that can continue this trajectory of going upwards and can be like a Columbus where it took a couple of years to kind of get there. They weren't that dominant team one year after another one. It takes building the team up, right? So that's what it feels like it can be with the Rapids a little bit. It feels like they can build up as long as they keep adding pieces and looking for good deals left and right.
Yeah, so like you said, MLS includes those. So he's at 10-10 right now. So he's already at 20 goal contributions. So he literally just needs 3 to tie, 4 in 7 contribution. I mean, this seems like an absolute surefire lock, Duane.
4 in 7
contributions. That's assists or goals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that certainly seems doable for Djordje.
He should just assist Rafa 4 times.
The only caveat is that, like the teams that down the stretch are going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the flip side of that coin is that when we play difficult teams, Djordje is usually the one who shows up to make things happen. Mm-hmm. So maybe that plays to his advantage going down the stretch here to get that Final Four. But for anybody, I'm so excited that I just breathed in spit down into my lungs, and I'm glad that we could all enjoy that together as a Rapids family. If anybody can do that, I mean, it's Djordje Mihailovic.
Right.
Like, anybody else on the team, I'd be like, I would hope it would happen for them, but for Djordje, 4 goal contributions in 7 games seems like a given.
I mean, absolutely. It is a given. So I don't even really think that one probably requires less talk than Hoffa's. That just feels like whether he's going to the penalty spot at least one more time, he's going to take every corner and every set piece, right? So there's another assist or 2 there. He just has to find maybe 1 or 2 from the run of play, right? So that's pretty exciting.
No, AJ, Rapids family's still here. They're just working. It's a little bit later in the day. By the way, shout out AJ.
Yeah,
our guy.
Shout out the whole Toyota chat presented by the 2024 4Runner. We got AJ. He is, obviously DNVR legend. Our guy Ski Wilson. I saw Crash Lakarsh in there. Isaiah. Good to see everybody hanging out on the Wednesday here with us. Really quick, I didn't have this planned, but Cole Bassett is sitting at 9-7. 9 goals, 7 assists. Can he hit 10-10? Or can he hit 20 goal contributions total? What do you guys think? He's at 16 now.
So 4 more?
So he needs 4 goal contributions to hit 20. He needs 1 goal, 3 assists to hit 10-10.
I think, not to be a realist on things, but for a lot of these things to happen, they don't happen in a vacuum.
Correct.
So if Bassett is getting all the assists, then Djordje is probably not, and vice versa. So going against some of the teams that we're up against down the stretch, like, I don't see it being like a St. Louis Golapalooza,
right,
that we had. Like, I think probably 2 goals a game is a good average to think, heading down towards the playoffs.
You have SKC away, Toronto home. Those are your 2, and Austin away. Those are your 3 goal-scoring games.
Yeah.
You make a good point that they all can't contribute, but with the MLS system of hockey assists...
assists are like the one thing that can help that happen.
Because most of these assists come from Bassett to Djordje, and Djordje to Rafa. That's how we've seen it all year long. So
the pipeline's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, the pathway to all of them doing it at the same time feels very likely. Because like I said, most of the time, that's the way you kind of build out from the back. It's usually Cole or Ronan or Ollie getting the ball to Djordje, and then Djordje doing magician stuff and then running around, and then getting it to Rafa, and Rafa doing a chicharito and just getting the ball across the line somehow. Right. So, like, to me, it feels very likely because 4 goal contributions, it is a lot, especially for a team that's not known for scoring. But this team all year long has proven to us that everybody can score. Yeah. Having 3 guys in double-digit goals and having 2 of them almost hit 20 goal contributions and Rafa breaking the record. If you would have told me that before the season started, I would have been like, you're crazy.
We'd all laugh.
Those didn't even make the hot take show.
That would have been a hot take. That would have been 100% a hot take show.
It is interesting. Just looking at the playoff teams, the Rapids would be alone in second place in the East in terms of goals scored this season. They are tied for second in the West. Only Seattle has scored more. Mm-hmm. Seattle's also the only team that has allowed more. But they're the only team in the West that has scored. Or no, sorry, not. It's Portland. Yeah, Portland is the only team that has scored more and allowed more. Everyone else, the Rapids would be the most.
You allow a lot of goals, you got to score a lot of goals.
The Rapids have given up 8 of those goals.
Yeah, actually, they're kind of single-handedly.
The Rapids have pushed them to. One of those is Leagues Cup, so 4 of those goals are single-handedly the Rapids.
Hey, next weekend, DNVR Takeover, you can maybe watch them right some wrongs. On the other side, we're going to get into the playoff picture and maybe talk a little Darren Yapi in there as well, so hang in for that. But first, got to talk about our friends at Toyota. Man, we love Toyota here at DNVR. So much so, we made them the official vehicle of DNVR. You know, Toyota trucks. That is about as Colorado as it gets, right? You can, whether you're loading up for the tailgate like we do, we load up Spence's Tundra for those tailgates with beer, tents, and tables and games. Or if you're headed up to the mountains for a ski day or a camping trip, you can load them up, whether that's the 2024 Tacoma or they're bringing back the 2024 Land Cruiser. There's all-wheel drive like we know you need here, and they have 17 vehicles that offer that or four-wheel drive.
Also, Toyotathon is right around the corner, so save up your money and get ready for the biggest event of the year.
Wow, Toyotathon. Can you believe it? I'm so excited.
Favorite commercial every year, Toyotathon. Honestly.
You can get the new 2024 4Runner, and they have low and zero emission vehicles, more so than any other automaker. They have 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid truck, and their SUVs. I mean, I have a Toyota SUV. I have a Highlander. Perfect for Denver, right? You get good gas mileage. I can commute in it, but I can also load it up for work, whether that was, to the roof with T-shirts and shipments or full of, tailgate stuff, or I can load up the crew and head up to a concert in Boulder like we did, right? And so whether you get your RAV4 or your Grand Highlander, there's tons of options for you with Toyota. Visit your Farmers Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Colorado Rapids and the official vehicle of DNVR. Why are you guys laughing?
Because when it's ad reads, I have to sit here while you're reading. Yaya's off camera doing stretches and yoga.
I'm out here doing the
poses.
YMCA.
He's on camera right now.
He is now, but not doing the normal.
We're also brought to you by a new friend, Empire Today.
Love Empire Today.
Big fans of Empire Today.
I'm sitting on Empire.
We're like literally right below us, right here, Empire. With Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats, but you can't beat Empire on quality, service, speed, and they advertise low-quality products that we simply won't carry. Look, they can't promise you the absolute lowest price, because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs, right? This is high quality, good, like fantastic flooring.
You can't build an empire without Empire floors. It just doesn't make any sense.
Look, and that's what we're doing here at ALLCITY.
Exactly. Like, that's why we all have Empire flooring.
Every single one of us.
We each got to take a piece home. But no, really, Empire is great, man. Like, how many of us don't remember hearing those commercials growing up right before? And but you knew that they were good. Like, I remember my grandma would call them and try to got Empire flooring because of those commercials, because they are such high quality, and she loves her flooring.
Look, their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. They're always shopping to have a curated list of high-quality products. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles. Their virtual floor designer is a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. Shopping for floors at a big box store can be frustrating. You might talk to someone one day who is then in plumbing or in, power tools or insulation or garden or whatever. Flooring is all Empire Today does. They live and breathe flooring, so you can be confident you're getting the best, honest, upfront advice. They pride on convenient shop-at-home service, help customers shop for floors where they use floors so they can see exactly what their new floors will look like in their homes with lighting and decor, so they can make an informed decision. And they have service and warranties. If an issue does arise, just call Empire. They service all warranties themselves. You won't have to track down a manufacturer's phone number. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners receive a $350 discount when they use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DNVR for details. All right, we're back. DNVR Rapids hanging out on a Wednesday. Yahya, Duane, Mitch, super producer Alyssa. The news came down yesterday. Darren Yapi, after his dramatic stoppage time winner, is named one of the young players of the match day. I believe that is the first young player of the match day from the Rapids this season, which is crazy because they have a lot of young guys that score goals. So kind of crazy, but there he is. Your thoughts on the nomination for Yapi there?
Well deserved, man. The amount of things that Yapi has gone through, insert bad word right there, is it's a lot. He had a lot of pressure. He was touted as the next USMNT striker to come out, help out. By the Rapids fan, including myself, I was very adamant that he was going to be a great player and that he was going to come in and and be the goal scorer of the Rapid tournament, right?
Yeah.
And now he's looking like he's finally finding his footing. And Yapi deserves all the credit for taking in the coaching and everything that's been told around him and going out there and working harder, taking the great examples he has around him in Djordje and Rafa and pushing through all of that. That's what makes me so excited about Yapi. He seems to be super Yapi, as I have our producer Emma flip me off camera. But that's the best part
She
about.
was saying Yapi is number one.
Yeah, he's
With
very
emphasis.
Yappy, right? Like, and Yappy. But it's all good things for Yappy, and that's the thing that makes me the happiest. That we have a guy that can be developed and grow into a role like Ollie, like Cole, like Sam has, and it just feels like it's another guy in that pipeline that can contribute going forward and be in maybe the Moist Bombito on the other side where you can sell him for some money.
Look, all of us, we were hard on him, but if you're playing on the field, we have to talk about what you do on the field, right? That's the gig, right? He was young. He wasn't getting in the right positions to score. He would go down to R2, have some dramatic goals, come back up, not score. What can you do, right? That's kind of the name of the game, right? The fact that he has scored 3 goals this year, they have all come after the 90th minute. You kind of see him growing into that super sub goal-scoring threat off the bench. That's what you need from a guy like this, Duane.
Yeah, I mean, and the future is bright because here you have a still very young kid who is understanding the challenge and how hard it is to come in and be clutch. And he's making it happen. Like, his goals have all been clutch. So, when there's time when Hoffa needs a break, he needs time off to recoup, whatever, and we need to have a starter, like Yappy's going to be able to come in and know right from the get-go that he has a whole game to score, not just 5 minutes of pressure time, right? So, I mean, it's a good look for him, I think, and learning how to score goals first in very high pressure situations is going to make a start position going to be a little bit easier, or maybe more goals because his head's going to be geared for high pressure situations. So I think it's a good reason to be hopeful seeing when and how he's scoring these goals as he moves forward in his career.
It is like Yappy learned how to ride a motorcycle first,
Yeah.
and then he's like, here's the bike.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and look, it was not an ideal situation. Last year was kind of his first big minutes season, and you're on the worst offense in the league, or close to it.
Yep.
Not a lot of playmaking around you, and as a striker, you're kind of, there's a little bit of goal creation on your own, but for the most part, it's how much can you be set up by the people around you, and last year was not the year for that. So good for him to kind of see the ball go in. This was probably his, I don't want to call it the most skilled goal, but it did feel like that, right? It was a chip from the end of the box with a defender riding your inside hip, keeper coming straight at you, use your knee of all things to chip that keeper. It was pretty impressive.
It's not skilled. It's savvy. It's
Savvy,
the most
that's the
savvy
word.
goal he
Yep.
scored.
Yeah.
Because it was him holding off a defender and just getting a touch on the balls.
Yeah.
And that was the whole goal. He could have gone in there and give it a tap. He's like, it's going in. Let me just go celebrate. That's
Yeah.
it's going in.
It was pretty cool too to watch it still bouncing in, and he's running like, "Let's go,
Yeah.
baby!" So good for him. Okay, let's look at the playoff picture right now. The Rapids are in 4th place, 44 points, but from 5th to Seattle in 8th is only 4 points. Seattle 40 points. Houston in 7th, 40 points. Portland in 6th, 40 points. Vancouver, with 2 games in hand, in 5th place at 41 points. So you have those 4 teams. Whoever finishes in that top spot of those, assuming the Rapids hang on to 4th, right?
Yep.
Whoever finishes in that 5th slot will be the team they face. Do you want to go team by team? Do you want to talk about teams you want to see the most? Do you want to? How do you guys want to do that? Because let me tell you right now, Portland, I don't want any bit of them. None.
Well,
0.
you're gonna get
House
'em.
of Horrors. I don't want them.
That's exactly who I want, though.
What?
You got to exercise demons. This is my thing. Every team I like has to go through it. You have
Sure.
to. Every team that's trying to be a championship team, whether it's this year, next year, the year after, they have to go through trials and tribulations. You don't just get it handed to you. You've gone in there and you've been mollywopped multiple times. It's not just a thing of, oh, like they're a good team. No, you've gone in there and you've been destroyed. You got to go in there and show them that, hey, we're not just going to be pushovers just because you beat us twice at our house. You got to go through it. You got to go through the tribulations in order to come out from the other side better and ready for the next trial. You just can't wait for it to come. You can't just wait for the easy route. So I want Portland. I want Portland to feel the Rapids. I want them to drown in a wave that they can't even get beyond. That's the best part, when you beat the team you hate or the team that's beating you all year. And that I want the Rapids to have another opportunity at that in an important stage.
I don't know if I can get on board with that. I want the easiest route through the playoffs possible. Dwayne, what do you think there?
Well, I mean, you're getting Portland in a week from Saturday.
Well,
either way.
sure. I know you can't avoid the team on the schedule, but I'm
Yeah.
talking come playoff time. Who do you want to see in that 5th slot?
I don't care. I really don't.
Whoa. I like that.
Only team I want to see is the Rapids in the playoffs. Like, I don't give a crap about any other team in the West. The only team I care about is the Rapids. So if it's LAFC, that's fine.
Is that what you guys have been doing this whole time?
Me and Dwayne off cam Rapid throwing YMCA signals at each other.
My God. I was trying to, no one tells me things. I'm just sitting here in between this.
I mean, I really don't care.
Okay.
Like, because eventually it's going to get to whoever is better than us,
Sure.
or as good at us, at the Western Conference Finals. Like, it doesn't matter to me, because every game in the playoffs has to be a win. Like, that's it. Like, so it doesn't matter to me if it's Vancouver, if it's Portland, if it's LAFC, if it's Real Salt Lake. I don't give a crap. Like, bring all of it, because it doesn't matter. Like, the team has to win.
Right.
And this is like what we learned in Leagues Cup, is that this is a tournament team,
Right.
and the playoffs are just a tournament at the end of the season. So I'll take anybody.
In that tournament, they did get spanked by Portland, to be fair.
Where did they finish, though, and where did Portland finish?
Sure. Absolutely.
So-
Agree 100%.
Yeah.
But it is worth
They also-
noting
they
that in
also
that
took
tournament,
out-
they got their pants pulled down by
Who-
Portland.
I think Club America is a much better, scarier
There it
team
is.
than Portland any day of the week.
I mean, when you have weather on your side, it's unfair, right?
Right. It could snow. It could
Yeah.
snow on a playoff game. That would be sick.
Could.
I wouldn't like it having to cover it from outdoors.
Yeah.
I would love it with say Miami's nice sealed.
I mean, Miami, it's
insulated-
not going to snow regardless.
No, but they have a press box that is like.
fair.
I'm just saying their press box specifically is you can watch the
Yeah.
game from inside.
You don't have to be outside. It's
You don't have to be outside to watch the game.
It's a conventional press box
Correct.
in Miami. Yeah.
I'm just. Come on, give me those warm October days, baby. So this weekend, Seattle plays at Columbus. So you figure they should be in the same spot, right? You would hope.
Yeah.
Vancouver home for Dallas. And now they have 2 games in hand, so this puts them into 1 game in hand.
Yep.
Probably going to give them the 3 points. There's a chance that they're above the Rapids going into the Portland game.
Yep.
Fair?
Probably.
Dallas is scoring, so it could be a,
Dallas is also in panic mode right now.
A little bit. They need to.
They need wins, and you can tell
they
against
need
the
to claw
Rapids.
they're right on the line. So I think a win. I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but I think a win could put them right at the line.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a good opponent for us.
Yeah.
For Vancouver to have to play.
And also with Velasco coming back, you saw how big of an impact he had against the Rapids. The few minutes he played, like all these things are starting to pile up for Dallas, and they have their backs against the wall. It's time for them to show up or shut up, and that's going to be the biggest thing about it, right? They need the points more than anybody else, being on that like final line. Vancouver's pretty much like safe in the playoffs for the most part. Dallas wants some more. I think they wanted a lot more, and I think the Rapids wanted it a lot more this last weekend.
Yeah,
I think it's just a testament to how much the Rapids wanted it compared to Dallas. But I think Dallas wants it really bad.
Yeah. And then the last one is LAFC is at Houston. And so you probably have to root for LAFC in that one.
I don't think LAFC is going to lose to Houston.
No, LAFC doesn't lose to a lot of people.
Yes, they don't. They don't lose a lot, folks.
So you hope that LAFC, who also has games in hand on everybody, you hope that they are able to just... You kind of cede those top 2 spots to the LA teams.
Yep.
Right? And say, beat everyone that we need you to beat for us.
I would put Salt Lake in that kind of tier as well.
Salt Lake is only 3 points ahead of the Rapids right now.
Yeah, but I'd still put them in that tier that like you rather the guys above you to win,
sure,
than the guys behind you catch you up.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. To me, Vancouver is the obvious want of those teams.
Yeah.
Right. They've had pretty decent performances there, even through the last couple years where it's been bad, and to me, they're the least scary of those teams when it comes to like game-changing players. You're talking about tournament teams. You're talking about having guys that can shift the dynamic of a game instantly. They have less of those than these other teams.
Yeah, they're
right. Especially Seattle, especially Portland.
Yeah,
Houston to a lesser extent.
Vancouver does feel more like a team instead of players, right? It feels more like a collective doing their job. They're a well-oiled machine, more than like I have a couple of superstar players that can carry me in my worst times. And you're completely right about that. But at the end of the day, Duane said it best. Like, you're going to have to go through all of them if you want anything worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and the playoffs are a completely different beast.
Yeah.
You'll get in there and you'll find out what a team is really made out of.
Yeah.
Because you will have your back against the wall on 90 minutes through the whole tournament, every game. How many times have you seen penalty shootouts and these things? Like,
right. Rapids have seen several.
Exactly. Like, it's part of it. Like, you have to go through it regardless.
And that might be the biggest takeaway from Leagues Cup is that you're kind of ready for a tournament, like Duane already said.
You don't have to get ready if you've been ready. And that's my favorite thing about the Rapids.
A win over Portland, obviously huge next week in terms of righting the 2 destructions you've received from them. But also, that puts that gap to 7 points on them. You basically say that is one team you can guarantee won't catch you down the stretch if you win next weekend. And that's one, just push them down the table. You're not getting 4th. Right?
Yeah. How many games do you think the Rapids can lose out of the last 7 and keep in 4th?
2.
That's exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
But you can't have draws in there either. If you're losing 2, you need wins.
See, to me, was like you can only lose 1, and then the rest of them are up in the air.
Sure.
Like the West is shaking out exactly how we thought it would at the very beginning of the season when we talked about it. It's going to be a couple of teams up top, a couple of teams at the bottom, and the mid-level right around the playoff line and a few spots above is going to be just a bloodbath. And that's what it's going to be. This last stretch is, I think you're going to see a lot of movement from 5th down to 10th.
You have 3 absolute must wins: at KC, home to Toronto, at Austin on decision day. Those are absolute. Cannot lose those 3 games.
So there, you're at 9 points.
You're at 9 points there. Home to Portland, we already said. That basically says they don't get a home playoff game if you win this game.
The minimum we can
so
do
that's
is a draw.
4 wins right there.
Minimum is a draw, in my opinion, with Portland. So
At
let's say
Minnesota,
12.
very hard. And then you have back-to-back. And with I'm not sure exactly which one is the midweek. Okay, you have, I'm just trying to do the math here. So you have Galaxy home on a Saturday, Seattle home on a Wednesday.
It's rough.
That is like, honestly, you can't really ask for a better tune-up for the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Like, and then finish with Austin on decision day away.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very interesting, like, we're going to learn a lot about the Rapids. We've already learned a lot about the Rapids, but I think there's still a lot to learn over the last 7. And you just hope Vancouver finishes in that first playoff slot so you can play them.
Honestly, all this talking about the playoffs this year gets me excited for next year more than anything.
Absolutely.
Because the Rapids, remember, the Rapids kind of blew some games at the beginning of the year. They kind of let some of them go with
That
like
stretch in
missed
June.
penalties, missed. They allowed stupid goals like
Seattle, Djordje missing the penalties,
Exactly.
2 points right there you could have added on.
There's a lot of little things right there that at the beginning of the year, I'm like, if you would have just capitalized, right now you'd be like in second place with Salt Lake.
Totally.
But it gets you excited for next year because now they are a club, they are a team, and they know what they're doing at the beginning of next year.
Totally. Okay, we are going to get into it. We're going to have a little fun on the other side for our third segment. It is a week off for the Pids as is, so we're going to partake in that as well. But before that, we got a little housekeeping to do, and we are going to talk about DNVR events. There's a bunch of them. We put on the best questioning a question mark at the end of air horns is hilarious. We have the best tailgates, period, end of. We have them. They're not your big, like you go down to Mile High and there's like, there's some big kind of corporate ones, Not us. We're basically throwing the best version of a party tailgate, period, right? It is like truly like if you have a friend who has a lot or, somewhere that they can park and throw a pregame, but we scaled it up big, right? We have great partners sponsoring us with those. You're going to have Breck Brews at them. Various food partners. If you're doing the Broncos tailgate, you have Primo Hoagies.
Gorgeous, beautiful sandwiches.
Are you kidding me?
They taste so good.
I need that spicy. They have a whole spicy menu. It's the best.
There's this one with broccoli on it.
Broccoli?
And it's incredible.
It's incredible. Everything they do is incredible. The best views, obviously, at the Broncos one. We say it every time, but it's crazy. The fact that you're partying above all the parties. Oh, and there's the stadium. Oh, and there's downtown Denver. Come on. For a great price, you can take the bus for a little bit extra from here, from the bar, down to the tailgate. That's great, too. And you can get season passes for both the Buffs and the Broncos tailgates. It's a great deal. You're saving money, and you're hanging with all the DNVR crew. The best part about these is not only are all the best fans in town coming to this, and there's a bunch of them, you get to hang out with all of us, too, because we all like to go party before a football game, right? Man, the Buffs tailgate week 1, we had people from, I'm not even kidding, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Hawaii, Alaska, DC, Texas, North Dakota. Buffs fans, not Bison. That was weird. Didn't expect that. There are people literally coming from all over to come party with us. You can do it too. thednvr.com/events.
And then you can also hit our takeover for
That's
the
what I'm
Portland
getting
game.
into.
And that might not be the tailgate we organizing, but we're such a smart company that we combine with the best tailgate in Commerce City, the best of a fan experience that we can give you guys. Because C38 does it big every time, and we like to give you guys the biggest, the baddest, the biggest, best, the baddest thing out there.
Game recognized game.
Exactly.
If you will.
Exactly.
Right? We know how great the C38 tailgate is. Mm-hmm. We know that their bus rides, super fun with the captains and getting the chants going and getting people hyped up before they even step off the bus at the stadium. It's as fun as it gets. So that is next week at Portland. You can find tickets at thednvr.com/events. Takeover Yaya is like one of my favorite Yayas, if not my absolute peak favorite Yaya.
All caution goes to the wind.
All of it, and then some.
Yeah, I usually carry sunglasses with me those days, even if I don't need them, just to know shit.
We had a great time in the St. Louis game. We're going to have an even better time in the Portland game. It's a huge game. If any of your friends are curious about the PIDs, as you say, PID curious,
Bit curious.
now is the time to get them to go, and perfect time to come to DNVR Bar and start your day here. Get on the bus, do the whole thing, C38, Dev Dogs, all that. So please, that is the best way to do it. We also have our Avalanche takeovers up, and later today there is a very fun DNVR event dropping on the Nuggets show, and that's the only hint you'll get on it.
So turn on notifications and like this video and subscribe, because that's how you get into the Nuggets event. If you like the Rapid stuff.
Yeah, it's true. He's not lying. No, but it is going to be probably the coolest, maybe the coolest event we've ever done. And so you're going to have to check that out. All right, we are back. DNVR Rapids, hanging out on a Wednesday. Guys, we're going to have some fun. The Rapids are off all week. You have guys out of town. You got guys whose families came into town. Chris Armas is hanging out in New York for the week. They have their days off. They're filling their days off with fun things to do. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to draft best day off activities.
It's going to be fun for sure.
I am so excited for this.
Oh, I get the first pick too. Let's go.
I get the
I didn't have time to rearrange it.
That's okay. I like going in the middle of this one.
I was like, opened it up, and I was like, well, I was going first because
We haven't done one of these in a while either.
Yeah. We are going to have to go fast because the event's ad reads I do go on. So, first pick, day off activities draft. Go.
Nothing. The day, when you do absolutely nothing, it's the best day off activity.
That is a pretty...
That's legit.
That's like nothing is incredible.
Especially, jobs like ours where we're all pulling and wearing multiple hats.
Yep.
There's a lot of... There's even going home, you don't necessarily have nothing to do. So when you have a day off and you don't do anything, sign me up. That's a great poll. Great
nothing
poll.
is the best by a mile.
All right, I'm going to take my pick here. Sleeping in.
Damn it.
Yep.
I mean, easy.
That's the right choice.
Easy. That, for me, I can't believe Yahya didn't take that first.
I don't like sleeping in, regardless.
Interesting. I love it. I rarely do it. I slept until almost 10 on Labor Day.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. Truly unmatched sleeping in, especially by the time you reach our ages.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of chances to do so. So,
School's out.
huge fan of sleeping in. Honestly, doesn't get better.
All right. Well, that would have been mine. So I'm going to get straight to it then. I'm going to say Estes / Rocky Mountain National Park.
Ooh. I'm going there today.
Estes
after this
/
show.
RMNP. Man, haunted hotels
Haunted hotels.
that Stephen King wrote The Shining about after a horrible dream in that place.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You can go to the lake. You can go for a hike up in Rocky Mountain National Park. There's elk everywhere, which is super weird, but they're just like, hey, what's up, dude? I'm an elk. I'm just hanging out like you
Yeah,
are.
a very creepy noise coming out of them.
Yeah, it's awesome. Fly fishing. I mean, you could do anything.
Don't
up
say
there.
too many
It's
things
great.
that are other
That's-
picks.
Hey, I can't help what Estes Rocky Mountain National Park
That's true.
can bring for a day off.
Okay, second pick.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
snaking
you're back to
it.
back, yeah.
Oh man, we're snaking. I get to go again. Man, I'm gonna go to the movies.
Damn it.
Let's go
That's
to
what I
the
wanted.
movies.
Curse you, Duane.
Never get to go to the movies anymore, and it's just
PG cuss words.
it's
Your way.
it's still an epic event, an epic activity.
I'm
to go
upset.
to.
yeah.
I'm upset.
Enjoy a theater, man. Go to IMAX, whatever.
That is such a good pick.
Movies.
Yeah.
Ah, that is my favorite pick because you can just turn off notifications for a minimum 2
dude.
hours.
It's incredible.
Go to the movies.
Great pick, Dwayne. God. All right, this is the one that Yahya thought he could guess before the show, and he couldn't. And this is very specific. But in a job like this, or especially if you've worked in restaurants or anything like that, this is the best thing you can do on your day off is say no to a request to come into work.
No to work.
Yes. If it's like, hey, someone called in, can you do it? Say, nope, day off, can't do it. I can't think of
It's
anything.
not an activity, but I love it so much.
It's a very short
that it's-
activity.
I love it
David.
so much. Like there's such power in being able to do that. Yeah.
We love healthy boundaries in this
Yeah.
And
podcast.
you're like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing one of these other things instead.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
For sure.
I like that. My turn.
Yeah.
For me, it's video games. Like on a day off.
I could have had that so much later. Why did I not take video
when
games?
you chill, when you just like are home all day and you just can play video games.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like you start a brand new FIFA career and just go through all of it in one sitting. It's the funnest thing ever.
Giving the Rapids that $100 million starting boost and buying everybody.
Man, my like the figure of my butt cheeks is gonna be implanted in that chair for the next 20 weeks, regardless, because I am staying there all day.
That is awesome. Great pick.
Back to back, pickup soccer.
Okay.
Pickup soccer
like
on a day
that.
off is really fun. The worst part about it is that everybody else works.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find one. But in the afternoon when everybody gets out of work and you have nothing else to do because you're not trying to catch up from the day's activities or unwind, it's really fun to just go find a little pickup soccer game, join in, and have a couple of hours of good, healthy activities.
I agree. That is really good. Here's one, and you guys might need to help me in terms of how to phrase this. Long lunch. Right? Sit down place. Maybe a beer,
Eating.
maybe 2 beers. What?
I was just gonna say eating.
Eating. But like, you know what I mean? Where you go somewhere maybe a
Long
little
lunch,
nicer than your,
Yeah.
you're not grabbing Jimmy John's. You're going to a, maybe like a, combining with other places. So I don't want to say it, but like, like a more of a sit down lunch, nice meal, have a few beers,
Yeah.
take your time.
You got to go to a restaurant, you hit
Yeah.
the patio,
Yeah.
you let the wind hit you a little bit,
Yeah.
then you start punching back because it's hitting too hard.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it, I get it.
I love it.
I do enjoy a good solo lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwayne?
Go on a date, man.
Oh.
Like
Our wives
if
are not
you're-
going to be stoked we didn't
yeah,
pick that
if,
yet.
If you're if you're married, it's hard to get time to go on a date. Go on a date. If you're not married, you got somebody you're into, go on a date. Like, if you're not dating anybody, go find someone. Go on a date. That crap's fun, dude. Like,
Find a
go on
girlfriend just for
date.
your days off.
Go do something fun. Go on a date. Are we doing all year round or just this week?
All year round. Whatever you do your day off.
Oh, okay. Then let's go snowboard skiing.
Great pick. Super producer Kale in the background's probably very happy with that pick going.
That's a good one. I like
Snow
it.
sports or ski. There
Yeah,
you
ski
go.
board,
You got
perfect.
a ski board. Perfect.
I want to do
board.
that. I want a ski board.
Sound like my mom calling every video game Nintendo.
You like skateboarding?
Yeah, going skiboarding. Okay, me.
Yep.
This is
You.
kind of the exact opposite of Dwayne's because it's summer. Golf
Yep.
by yourself with some buddies, whatever.
Golf is fun. I played
Golf
that
rocks.
one
Hit the
time.
range. I'm not a golfer.
Even
but
hitting the range.
Hitting the range is just
Yeah.
fun for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
That's actually a really
Work
good one.
on your game. Shoot the shit out on the course with some music, maybe a
Yeah.
cigar. Definitely some Lucy pouches are getting used for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Anything bubbly has a little Lucy in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be bubbly for
Yeah.
me.
All right. Yeah, golf. Easy for me.
Yeah, golf.
Yep.
That's a good one. I thought you were going to take my next one.
I'm sure I'm going to be mad that I
And
didn't,
it's going to
so.
be day drinking.
Oh, I'm sober, so no.
Yeah,
I
like-
wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, but like, I thought you were going to pander
would
more
not-
than anything.
Sure.
Because it came up in the chat, right? Crash
Yeah.
drinking at 11 is always fun. Day drinking on your day off, knowing that you have nothing to do that afternoon, it's incredible.
Bro,
It's a
then you
good
can
time.
really say no to work.
You can be like,
I'm wasted.
Or just answer the phone. They're like, never mind. You're good.
it's 9 a.m. and I'm already drunk, sir. I cannot
Yeah.
go into work. But regardless, day drinking on your day off is fun because you just don't have any responsibilities that day. Do whatever you want.
Really good.
My last one is a Rockies game.
Yeah.
A Rocks game, especially in the summertime.
Yeah, those like Tuesday day games.
Yeah, like those, like when you can hit a day game, it's really, really fun because you don't even have to be in the sun. Nobody shows up for those. Move to the back where the shade
Yeah.
is and just sit there and watch America's pastime and have a good time. Rockies games to me are really fun on days off just because you can get drunk. You can day drink. You can combine almost all of mine and right there at that moment. You can do nothing, day drink, and go to a Rockies game all at once. And that's my favorite thing to do.
Man, that is really good. That is really good. This one, also a summer one. Swimming.
Swimming's
Or
good.
in
Whether that's a pool, river, lake.
In my case, drowning, because I don't know how to swim.
How'd you start your day off drowning?
Drown for a couple hours at English Gardens.
But man, it's not just the swimming. Although, man, if there's a pool available, I'm swimming in it. But it's the lounging in the sun.
Yeah,
Maybe having a cold beverage. Grilling maybe. Although, sorry if that was your last pick there, Duane.
It's not.
It's
You're
just
good.
there's so much. Whether it's, or you're like in Golden, me and the wife, we have some tubes just always ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So we'll take the tubes down, do a couple laps, and then just sit there and watch tubes and have a drink.
So is it a pool day then?
It's swimming.
Swimming, okay.
Swimming.
It kind of encompasses everything around swimming.
Okay.
Kind of cheating, but don't care because it's our show. We can do whatever we want.
And I declare myself the winner.
And I won. So there you go. Duane, wrap us up. Take us home.
I'm keeping it PIDS.
Uh-oh.
Going whitewater rafting.
Great
It's the
one.
perfect day trip. Especially in Colorado. You're an hour and a half to 2 hours away from prime whitewater rafting in Colorado.
Maybe even less,
And
depending
it's
where you
so
go.
much fun. It doesn't take all day. Trips are a couple hours long. Then you grab lunch. Still have plenty of time to get back early. And it's fun. If you've not been rafting yet and you live in Colorado, you gotta go.
I'm terrified of water, Dwayne.
You got PFDs on. It's fine. You're good.
Yeah, you'll be good.
I'm still terrified of water.
I get it.
I
I
shower
love
once
rafting.
a week
I
for
grew
a
up on
reason.
water.
You
so
get
it's
down to
different
the
for me.
You get down to the Arkansas, do the Royal Gorge.
For sure.
Oh, the Royal Gorge would have been a good one too.
Royal
It's-
Gorge
well,
is-
no, I
you
mean,
can raft in
rafting.
Royal Gorge
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
same day.
That could have just Royal Gorge by itself could have been a big.
Yeah, go
because
look at the Supermax
Yeah,
right
like-
by there too. That's cool.
I mean, out there with a sign, Chapo, we love you.
Super producer Alyssa, do you have a day off thing we didn't hit on?
Not that I can think of.
To me, empty stores.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
grocery store, Costco, mall, whatever. Just it being empty. There's something about
See,
that.
that's close to one I didn't use, which was chores and errands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when you get it all done.
Sure.
And then the
It
rest
does
of
feel
your
good.
week is
Those are
sweet 'cause
good day off
the house is
activities, but they're
clean.
not the best day off
It's
activities.
not better than whitewater rafting. No way.
All right, that's the draft. Yaya, why don't you plug us out of here?
DNV Rapids on Twitter. Follow us there. 5-star reviews wherever you hear this podcast. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, I want to give a shout out to Emilio, who just had a birthday. Shout out him.
Happy birthday.
Like him.
He texted me and said him, the baby, and the lady are all watching us.
Yay!
Right now.
So shout out Emilio.
Big shouts.
Get
shout out
that
to
baby in a
to the happy
whitewater
family.
raft situation.
I think they were out in Golden this weekend or at a river or something like that with family. Sorry, Emilio, if I'm putting your stuff out there, but we appreciate you, my guy. We love everything you do for the Rapids, and wanted to give you a quick birthday shout out.
Love that. Duane?
Store.allcity.com.
Ooh, is
Go
that still
to
up there, Alyssa?
DNVR. Get the newest T-shirt from DNVR. It is the DNVR Rapids.
No worries.
Up the effing PID shirt. The orders are in. It is now officially.
Yeah, it's a shirt.
If you don't get it, you're gonna have to wait until we reorder.
Yeah.
And who knows when that will be, but they
Yeah.
are being produced right now. So
very cool.
Get your order in. Get it in time for the playoffs. Get it in time for when Denver decides we're all going to be into the Rapids right now because they're in the playoffs, and you'll be the only one sporting sweet burgundy shirts.
Love
Get
it.
in there.
It's also like a little inside joke. If you know, you know.
Yeah. If you
Which
know,
is
you
great.
know.
Yeah.
If you watch
There
the
it is.
Rapids, you know where it came from.
We did have to change the shirt color. It's just more burgundy, less of that heathered gray burgundy.
It's more.
It's more burgundy.
We made it more burgundy.
More burgundy!
We made it more effing burgundy.
You're welcome. We made it more burgundy.
Become a diehard at thednvr.com. Support us that way. You get behind the paywall. You get discounts on the bar. You get free merch, and then you get discounts on more merch after that. You get discounts on events. You get all sorts of fun stuff into the Discord. Everything important there. All sorts of good stuff. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, both the show and the three of us. We like to talk footy on Twitter. More important than all of that, the most important thing we always say, we put it on a shirt. Up the Rapids.
We all silly like the mayor.